Here we are, Friday, 1951-08, the year 2021, the month, the 8th month, which is August, and the 6th day. Here's the fingers for the second video. One thing I noticed is that they're getting much more lighter and pinker instead of all dark in the middle and shit. I remember looking at some of the picture logs on this smartphone, and just fucking dark blood just dripping down the motherfuckers, drying, and on the top tips were just all fucking puddled with drying dark blood. That's some wild shit, man. And the blood started clotting up just like that. It had no problem. It hardly even bled at all. Until it started clotting, but then the blood was pooling up thick, but it would stay clotted. And then every once in a while you get a drip. You get a drip, man. But I attribute that to all that fucking health food that I ate, that I've been eating. So, you know, even when they did the blood pressure, you know, it's like fucking 125 over 71. Or then the other one was like 120 over 80. And I was concerned because how the fucker go up from 70 to 80? Yeah. But just like the month before the injury, or the unlawful collection. See, if I keep calling this an injury, there's certain thought patterns and definitions built already pre-programmed in the mind. But if I call this an unlawful collection, oh fuck, that's a whole different fucking thought pattern starts coming in and initiating universal warrant powers. So I guess when you hear some of the preachers and teachers talk about, you know, there's power in the words that we use, the word choices that we use, because we can pre-program this brain for any word, but have custom interpretation. Custom interpretation. You cussed at him. And then you hear the wong tong tong bong, because that's the Asian, the interpret Asian folks. This gets us back to Japan and China and Russia. This is where the Siberian fucking tigresses are at, folks. And India's over there, so you got the Indian tigresses and all the tigers and tigresses mostly over there in the Eastlands. But if you come over here west, what the fuck have we done to all the animals? So there's a serious imbalance around here on this North American, Canadian, even in New Mexico. But Mexico is nice and hot all the time, so they can keep all the animals a lot closer to them. And I think one of the favorite Mexican animals is the jackass. The jackass. And I watched YouTube videos on the jackass. Come to find out, the jackass is a fucking badass motherfucker, folks. I never thought of jackasses as badass motherfuckers, but they badass motherfuckers because they use the jackasses to guard their herds, their sheep and their cattle and their goats. They put jackasses out there, man. Because a jackass will fucking, for some reason they just automatically attack whatever the fuck's coming their way. So that would be kind of like the samurai warriors, because they're suicidal. You know, they don't think whether they're gonna die or live. They just, their action is just fucking solid on. And then they crash into the carrier. Fucker, yo, motherfucker! I'm like the missile you could never shoot down, motherfucker. Bullseye right at the captain's window. The captain's like, fuck this! Emergency fire pole slide. I need to visit the chatterbait room and squeeze me a hot honey. Squeeze me some hot honey. The brother needs a relief, a pole relief. The fucking, and so I just call that the death one way to describe that is called the death instinct. which when I read the book called The Sexual Revolution, written through Wilhelm Reich, when I read that book, man, holy shit. That's some shit right there, that book right there. And I didn't just read it. And you can't just read that book, because you even college level people will read this, will open up this book and say to themselves, this shit's hard to fucking focus on. It's hard to focus on. It's very hard to focus on because there's all kinds of new words being used. Very hard to focus on. So I had the motivation within me just rose up, because when I started reading some of that stuff, I automatically said to myself, oh, Jesus Christ, where the fuck has this information been? Hidden from us. Been hidden from us, folks. Woo! Holy shit. And that fucking glued me to every fucking page. Learning what's been hidden from us. You want to talk upon some shit? Woo! Oh my God, folks. And I would have never known any of this shit, probably, if I didn't quit the fucking job market for 12 fucking years. I would probably still not know this shit. And thank God, for some reason, I decided one day to start a business for myself, a guitar store business with a stage in it. It was going to be a store where we sold guitars, and we had a live stage in there, all in one. You know, I got together with a grant coach, paid him fucking $10,000 fucking dollars, and we were on the plan to get this thing fucking started. And they liked it because it was a new idea, had never been done before. So, but because of that, I got a computer, because he told me, the grant coach, one of the first things he said, you're gonna need a computer. And that's what got me on the fucking YouTube. And back then they had Stick'em, which is a live cam room that you go into where all kinds of people join in, and you get to see everybody that's in the room. Any name that you clicked on, they're cammed up. Unless they don't want to be cammed up. But most of them would cam up. A lot of them would cam up. And we would see each other all on the computer all day. Because I didn't have no job. Most of these people weren't working, or for whatever fuck reason. You know, we're on the computer all the fucking time in these fucking cam rooms, man. It's just spending time with each other. If it wasn't for, you know, the idea to open up a guitar store and to get that computer, I wouldn't have got on the internet. I wouldn't have gone on YouTube. And if it wasn't for spending all my fucking money in the stock market and the currency exchange market, the trading market, and losing it all, I would have never got onto private maritime fucking law. How these banks are fucking everyone. And the banking history, how it ties into these slave jobs. Why there ain't no fucking animals in balance on this continent. You know, to speak passionately. We are far from nature's roots, folks. On the way to robotdom was the path we were going. Although over in the East, they're still enjoying much more balance with the animals than we are on this continent. And you think that's not by design? Huh? You think that's not by design? Thousands of years those cultures have been over there. And this country's only been here for 250 years. They're in balance with the animals. And all the animals around here were chased and killed off and caged. Something tells me that's quite a difference between the East and the West, isn't it? And then you start looking at all this bullshit, living in prison cell yards. Yeah, these are prison cells. If you've never ever been in jail, you probably wouldn't relate to it very well, unless you went into jail. Not just once, twice, 3 times, spend a little bit of time in there. You know, most I was in was 45 days. That was enough. And I spent most of that time in isolation because I was considered a crazy fuck. That's what they do with the crazy fucks. They send them to isolation. But we ain't the crazy fucks. We're the ones that can't be fucking manipulated. And we know there's a bunch of stupid shit going on around here. We feel it. You know, we're the people that speak up. We're the all-natural fucking auditors. Universal fucking auditors. We fear nothing when it gets down to the zone. This gets us into the samurai warriors, folks. The suicidal fucking tendencies. Humanity's self-destruction. Because we're all still connected to the Matrix mind control computer, folks. It's just that some of us are a little bit more free than others. Not a great amount of freedom more than others. Not a whole lot. Just enough to want to raise these fucking voices. A little bit, that much more out of the box. For the mind control. And being Sherlock Holmes, we're smart enough to know yeah, we're smart enough to know that. We're smart enough to know that we're being controlled too, a whole fucking lot. How do you think these fucking fingers got off here? And you got to think, where's the master mind controller running that fucking computer program at, folks? Who's the masterminder? In other words, what kind of person or animal or extraterrestrial or alien is overseeing that computer? That program, the Matrix program, which is connected to all this fucking artificial, un-Tesla-like, bought out by the oil companies, utility fucking power lines, radio whip fucking antennas, airport weather fucking ball frequencies they're pumping in the air. High level fucking shit, folks. This is electronic fucking pollution, and it's connected up to the mind control with the cell phone towers. Now you got 4G and 5G, they're looking to expand. You know, but that gets us into the passion subject. The passion subject. Sometimes this shit comes out passionately, folks. You know, there was some time when I spoke ignorantly in passion. You know, it was kind of like more anger when I first started to learn what was going on. You know, just natural anger wants to come up, but the anger is very well harnessed and fucking very well harnessed. It's bridled and harnessed naturally, though. And you know, and I attribute that also from musical training and singing. I can sing very soft, or I can just yell beyond fucking belief to the point where I'll just fucking rattle the whole fucking voice till it fucking gets sore as fuck. But it's harnessed still. It wasn't an uncontrolled rebel's yell. It was still harnessed because I allowed myself to go there, and I wanted to see how much punishment the voice could absorb without formal training. You know, being institutionalized. That's another way of saying formal training is institutionalization. All these institutes that are out here, prostitutes, institutes, instruments, they're all hand in hand in the syllable change. The syllable in the syllables. The toots. Would that be the flutes in music? Little high pitched, little soft, little high pitched. And then you get into heavy metal and you want to fucking power scream. And actually singing it that way with much more less pressure on the voice is the best way to repeat these things, singing that way. That was wonderful, the way I was able to keep that one there. That idea flashed and absorbed in me from watching some mercenary videos. You know what a mercenary is? Mercenary is someone that you hire to go out and kill someone for you. So the bankers have hired the military. They're next in the chain, folks. And it's just common sense when you start to see the chain explained. The bankers and the military. Then you got the tax collectors next on the chain of command, the command chain. Then you got the corporate CEOs. These are the executors that spread throughout the land. Because remember, folks, we come from old English European roots over there with castles and shit, where they actually executed people, chopped their heads off, hung them with a noose, barbed wired them, or where the fuck filleted their ass with fucking flames. Jesus Christ, can you imagine? Can you imagine drowning, burning in oil, put in hot oil, all kinds of shit, dragged behind a fucking horse. Oh shit, until thy last breath. Holy fuck, folks. You know, You know, that's the roots of the society that we came from, and we're still doing it, except we're doing it with all the artificial utilities. Because if you didn't have these utilities, you wouldn't have the computers with the robot control, folks. The utility companies with their fake fucking fires going on over here. I hope someone heard that shit. These are the same fuckers that made sure Tesla died, and the oil companies or the utility companies, they're all on the same team, folks. These are the CEOs to the corporations, the executors, chief executive officers they are called. But you know the word executive is to execute. When you etymologize and study the etymology on the word exit. Exit stage left, said the Hollywood theater man. Exit. Yeah, exit. Like the attorneys where they put their little X right before your signature, which is a secret sign amongst the legal CPAs and the know-hows in the banker military realms, that's the attorney's mark right there. And this is his bitch handing over their seal voluntarily that he talked them into handing over with mind control manipulation. The mind control, folks. And I'm going to tell you, the technology is so advanced, if you took out all this utilities and everything, got rid of all the electricity, the mind control would still be here. Because this is all just a rabbit hole. When you got rid of all this and then you feel a little relief, but you realize, oh shit, this was bottom end, low end technology that we were using here with these utility companies, folks. I'm telling you some things to assume these things, because that's the way a wonderful Sherlock Holmes investigator, he questions everything. He has to assume everything. And when he speaks them into the air for everyone to hear, he knows whether or not, if they're innocent, truly innocent, they understand what innocence is and they're mature in that or whatever. He knows they ain't gonna have no problem with any of that stuff. They accept it for value. But then you got the in-betweens. You got the ones that, you know, they don't understand what to do with it. And they're more susceptible to influence from the other side, that, you know, eventually, you know, they're going to get violent. They're going to get violent eventually. Just give them some time. And you know the time has come, because you just continue being who your universal self was meant to be, irregardless of the bully. And that you realize there's going to be an audit balance here. There's going to be a balance to the audit. The bully's going to realize that eventually, but he doesn't see it yet, and he don't want to see it. So we're dealing with bullies that are not fully conscious to the universal energies. And that's how you know that you have a child amongst. We have a child. We have many children amongst us. All these executors executing on behalf for the military and the bankers and the tax collectors. And these people at the top assume that they own everything. And it's a big fat assumption. So, that's wonderful on their part that they can be Sherlock Holmes and assume things too. Just like we should be just like Sherlock Holmes and assume all kinds of things. We're using it to bring a balance to things. They're using it to keep everything enslaved-dom. Going around telling people what to do. Or if the people don't know what to do, they give them a manipulating sign to herd them in a certain direction. For whatever reason. But there's others, there's those that, they see what's going on. And, they're coming out of the mind control. They're coming out of the mind control. But they're not all the way out yet. I'm not all the way out. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. Now, some would say, well, your predestination when you were reincarnated into a this and that, or where the fuck your previous life, or whatever the fuck religious. Some people would say, well, you wrote that into your story before you birthed yourself. That's what Abraham Hicks would say. The law of attraction, The Secret, Abraham Hicks. Yeah. Although there's a balance to interpreting Abraham Hicks on YouTube. The law. These are the founders of the movement that went out many years ago, where they had TV commercials. They were selling this book called The Secret. And then that later on, as the years passed, they changed the name from The Secret to the Law of Attraction book. The Law of Attraction book. Which basically says, it believes in reincarnation, which could be. It's just like this Jesus bullshit, Yeah, it could be, huh? But for me, I know more than most, and it's a little bit, no, it can't be. If anything, the stories are just there as a wonderful guiding post, so that we could say to ourselves, well, shit, I might want to walk around the town, lay hands on people, and heal them. In fact, there's a sweet honey right there. We're going to head on over here behind the bush or in the bedroom. I'm going to lay hands on you, and we're going to have a wonderful healing. I'm going to get healed, and she's going to get healed. And we'll knock our heels together. If not, twist them up together like pretzels. Anyway, we're at 28 minutes on this video. I could go on and on and on and on and on, folks. But most likely I'll just carry on without you. But I just feel like getting another video up. I just have fun back here talking in the backyards, being just like Sherlock Holmes, man. That's my new little thing I got now. I fucking there's this girl called Red Pill the World on Rumble, and she supports Trump and against the deep state, and it's all pro-church and Jesus, but she's got a new interpretation to how what the Bible's being interpreted from the regular Jesus church. And she calls all the other Jesus churches bad churches. They're bad, nasty little suckers. They pulled my panties down, lubed me up real quick, put a finger in there, twirled it all around, rubbed some on their wing, and they put it right in me, start pumping hard, and I liked it. But no one must know. She has to hide it. And I told her, I said, you could be a monarch, MK Ultra monarch butterfly. And as I told her, I didn't have the energy to type this in, because I'm writing a small book to this girl. I'm writing this realizing too that, you know, I could be an MK Ultra, Monarch, Butterfly, Robot. Couldn't I, people? And when I say something like that in full public witness and internationally and universally renowned, because these videos go every fucking where, whoever wants to see them, for whatever reason, you know. And to me, that's healthy to say that and to feel comfortable with, and to not immediately deny it or get nervous with it. Remember, Sherlock Holmes is looking at reactions. How secure are you? Are you as secure as you think you are? Or are you secure as you think others see you? You put on the facade that you're secure? Shall I put on the facade that I'm secure? Secure a little bit more than most you all out there. Unless you're a lien holder and a warrant holder. And you're advancing that warrant too. Then you kind of probably might know what it's like to be a mover and a shaker. Shake that thing right there. Shake that thing, baby. I need some baby. It's coming. I mean, the fucking melodies just strike right now in the moment, folks. If you ever wondered the origin of music, they ain't teaching this in fucking school. That it comes from raising one's voice in the universe. And the joy and the happiness and the passions, they all of a sudden just start musically speaking naturally. Boom! It isn't this bullshit where you sit down, force yourself to write on a piece of paper and blah, 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 and it's got to follow this rule and that rule in order to be accepted in society so I can sell it on the shelf and the Christians are happy, the Satanists are happy, blah, 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 blah. You know. If you want it to be that way, it shall continue for you that way. Because I see the universe as letting you have whatever the fuck you want. Now, doesn't that fucking make you feel wonderful to know you can have whatever the fuck you want? And it doesn't matter what I say. Nothing sways you from security, does it? Or are you feeling insecure with who you really are, knowing that you're being mind controlled from some other thing that's out there, and you're just now figuring this out and wanting to get out too and bring this audit to the balance for fucking ever for me, or for however long you want it. If you only want to live 140 years, 500 or 1,000, it's up to you. I'm one of them unlimited motherfuckers, infinite unlimited motherfuckers. I just say up until forever, forever and ever, or whenever as I see fit, any time from now and in between. And then I can get back into wherever I want to go. I can stop anytime I want, have me a McDonald's, and get back on the road anytime I want. If I felt like relieving at the hotel with the latest honeybee. Brother, but getting into the honey, because that's what we learned. This is military information. It's called survival. You ever read some of the survival books? I got a survival book sitting in there on the fucking toilet that was the European Green Beret motherfuckers. The AKA fuckers, whatever the fuck they're called, man. Survival book, you know. It was intimidating to want to read that fucker. I wasn't even attracted to it. It just seemed boring as fuck to me. But I read it and then I thought to myself, huh, I guess this would be good information to know. And now I got to the point where it's like, that's all fucking war shit. That whole fucking book's based on fucking bully tactics. I'm thinking to myself, fuck. We don't need any of this fucking war shit around us. All these fucking armies. What the fuck are we doing? And you don't hear none of these vote for me motherfuckers, including Biden or Trump, talking frankly and clearly and plainly with the people, saying we don't need any of this fucking bullshit. Huh? Is that clear? That's 35 minutes. Anyway, you know, whatever you want, folks, whenever you're ready for whatever it is that you want, bluey or something in the middle, whatever the fuck, let it be your fucking choice. You know? Although there's plenty of stories out there to get ideas, you know. But we want to learn how to feel secure with this self-governing capacity that happens to exist. You know, all these fucking cell phone yards that are around here. With the legal expectation that we need to fucking shut the fuck up and not fully express who we really are. And keeping us in these sardine can cities like this so that we never feel secure enough to let the little child inside that got stepped on to express itself in this small sardine fucking prison cell. Robot controlled bullshit life. Whew, that's some heavy shit, folks. Anyway, I hope you start thinking for yourself. The best I could ever fucking hope. See you later.